Welcome to Math Plus, where math makes sense. Our Math in Minutes quick review for today is adding fractions with unlike denominators. Let's get to it. Anytime we add or subtract fractions, we have to make sure our denominator, that bottom number, is the same. I like to line mine up vertically so that I can work with them. I need to find the least common denominator. So I need to find a number that if I were to write the multiples, I need to find the lowest one that I can use for my denominator. So if I count by fours, 4, 8, 12, 8 matches the 8 at the bottom. So my least common denominator is an 8, and I'm going to rewrite my fractions off to the side. This fraction at the bottom stays the same because I did not change the denominator. The top one, I had to multiply it by 2 to get an 8. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. And that's a 6, and 6 plus 7 is 13 over 8. Stick around if you need me to go over it step by step. I will do that. If you've got it, if that was a good reminder for you, then turn the video off and be on your way. Otherwise, I'll go over about 3 examples for you today. I want to remind you again that anytime you add or subtract a proper fraction, your denominator must be the same. So you want to check to make sure your denominator is the same, and then you can just add your numerator at the top. I made a very simple one here for you so that you could put it into your box for notes. Get some index cards and an index box and make yourself some notes. I promise you, you won't need to come to YouTube to find these quick reminders. You can just go to your box. My denominators are the same, so I can just add them. 8, keep it the same, and add 5 plus 2 is 7. Done. Now what happens if they're not the same? This is where it gets a little tricky. Again, you can take notes on this page. When the denominator is not the same, then you have to make it the same. So you're going to find the lowest common denominator. I'm going to stretch this out a little bit and show you a way that you can do that. I'm going to take my smallest denominator and I'm going to write out all the multiples until I can get to that higher number, if at all possible. 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There you go. 12 is the least common denominator. It's a multiple of 2. I can get to 12, okay? So I'm going to keep the bottom one at 12. They both, a common multiple of both is 12. Least common denominator, 12 at the bottom. I leave it alone. And up at the top, what did I have to multiply that 2 by to get to 12? Well, if I can't remember, some of you are going, I know the answer. Go over here and count. How many times did you write down these multiples? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Anybody can do this. We're all at different levels. Some of us can look at it and we can see it, and some of us have to go the long way still and write everything out. 2 times 6 is 12. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So I multiplied my 2 by 6. I got a 12. Now I have to multiply the top by 6. 6 times 1 is 6. And now I can add. 6 plus 5 is 11. Notice I have these vertical, and then I keep my 12 at the bottom. Don't even have to simplify. That's as small as it's going to get. If you are doing fractions and they are written out horizontally, I highly recommend that you rewrite them vertically like this so that you can kind of do your work off to the right. It just makes it go smoother. Let's try another one, okay? Okay, so now we're going to do this one. It's a little bit trickier because the numerators are not even. There's not an obvious number for some of you that didn't have to write out. So I'm going to write out my multiples of 3, 6, 9. Okay. I'm going to write some of the 7s out. See if I can. I don't want to write too many. I want to make sure I catch it quickly. 14, 21. Let's go back to the 3s. 9, 10, 11, 12. Man, this is going to be a big one. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I knew that was coming. So the least common denominator will be 21. So both of them are going to change this time. This is one that you had to put a little bit more work into, right? So we're going to put a 21, and we'll do the top one first. 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 times 7 is 21. 1 times 7 is 7. Now, I just said 3 times 7, right? So that means 7 times 3 will be 21 as well. And that made 21, and 2 times 3 is 6. Now I add my numerators. 7 plus 6 is 13 over 21. Now I'm not simplifying because that's as small as it can get. There's nothing I can divide them by to simplify. I know this isn't a video about simplifying, but I'd like to always remind you that ultimately that's what you want to do. If you don't know how, that's okay. I know that you're focusing right now on adding these fractions. Now, on this last slide, I told you I wanted to show you another way that you can find it really fast. Let's say this is when you're in a pickle. Let's say you're taking a test and you can't use your notes. And you're like, I know that my denominators need to be the same, but I can't, I'm kind of stressed right now taking my tests, and I'm not really sure what the multiples are of 5 and the multiples of 3. I can't remember what I'm supposed to do. So this is something that you can do quickly to give you a like denominator. It may not be the lowest like denominator, but it will give you a like denominator. And what I'm going to do is write this out vertically, okay, like you've done before. And let's say you forgot how to get your multiples. You know, sometimes we get like that. We just can't remember. You can multiply your two denominators. You can multiply them and use that as your common denominator. And why does that work? Because when I multiply 3 by 5 to get 15, I'm also going to multiply my numerator by 5, and that gives me 10/15. That's an equivalent fraction. Over here, I'm going to just use that 15, 5 times 3. Look at that. And I'm going to multiply my numerator by 3, and that's a 12. My answer is 22 over 15. Now what I have is an improper fraction, and yes, I can simplify that by dividing. But I did get the lowest common denominator in this case. Sometimes if you're working with bigger numbers, your denominator is going to be larger and you're going to have to simplify it and reduce it, but at least it gets you to this point, okay? It's just a different workaround, and it stops you from thinking about multiples. And some kids get stuck on that, and that's okay, or some people do, right? And of course, when we want to simplify this, we'll go ahead and simplify it out. 22 divided by 15, and I know there's 1, right? 15 times 1, and I can subtract that 15. And 12 minus 5 is 7. So now my answer, I have 1 whole, 7 left. My dividend is 15, and that is my mixed number. I took my improper fraction and I simplified it to a mixed number. I hope that was helpful. Again, it's just a workaround if you can't remember. That's the wonderful thing about math. You're dealing with numbers, and if you understand how everything works together, then you can do things like this, go off and do it a little bit differently, but still have the same answer. Let us know in the comments below if there's anything else you need or what you think, and we'll see you on the next video.